I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're two sisters Southern cooking.
Hey y'all, it's Debbie. I am going to be doing the Christmas gnomes today, made with Christmas socks. So these are Christmas socks. I'm going to show you what all you're going to need for this project because you're going to need a few things. So let's get started. I use white rice. I got the 5-pound bag from Walmart for $3.94. I have some jingle bells that I got from, I don't remember if it was from Walmart or Dollar Tree, but those were from last year. I ended up buying my beards in a 10 by 10 from Amazon, and this is what they look like, and I'll show you how to make these. You could probably actually end up making about 4 out of each one of these here. And you're going to need some string, and I got these little ouchless hair holders, and these are the tiny ones because you're going to need to make sure that you don't need a big rubber band for this. You're going to need tiny little rubber bands, and of course you're going to need some scissors and your hot glue gun, and oh, I've got lots of more of beards over here. And then of course I got a kit from Amazon with the little nose balls. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do this. Oh, and I also use this here too. This just helps to hold my sock, and this pours the rice in so I don't have rice everywhere. This is not necessary, but it just saves a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we'll show you how to do this project. Okay, first things first, let's pick a Santa sock. So we are going to use these kinds of socks. Now you can get these anywhere that they sell like these cheap little Christmas socks. You're going to cut it directly across here at the heel. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, and we're going to cut straight across here. You might get a few stray strings, but that's okay. It's all good. I'm just going to even this out here a little bit, and we're just going to put this aside. Just going to try to even out the little hat because this is going to be your hat. Now, before we get started with anything else, I turned this inside out here, and see all this extra little bunnies of fabric here. Just push it aside because these are going to, because they're cheap socks, so they're going to do that. So turn your sock, the top part of your sock that is going to go up onto your leg, inside out, and the area that is not open, like it would be towards the foot of the sock, is what you're going to use to tie it off. This here, because it has an opening here and it has a seam, you're going to leave that as the bottom part of your hat. So, and I'm just going to put this on here. Now, the reason for the string is because sometimes these rubber bands will break, so the string will keep them from everything from falling out. So that's the purpose of that. So I'm just going to cut me a little string here, and we're going to tie off a couple of knots here. And then when I'm done, I do like 3 knots, and then I'll trim it so you don't have extra string hanging out. I've seen a lot of people do these types of things, but I'm the only one that actually does it like this. All right. And tie it in a knot, and then clip your string. All right, there. Now that's your hat. Turn it inside out. We are going to, when we put it on top, we're going to cuff it up like this and glue it, so you'll have a cuff on your hat. All right, so now the fun begins. It doesn't matter if this is angled or not, because this is all going up into a hair tie and a string. I'm just going to put this like this right here and this in here. And I pour to the top of my little strainer here. You'd be surprised how many cups of rice this holds. This is usually about 4 cups. This just keeps it from going everywhere. The only thing you have to worry about is the little fabric bunnies are everywhere. We want our little gnomes to be cute little fat guys, so all right. And the reason why you use rice, in case you're wondering, you can use polyfil if you want to, but you gotta have some kind of weight into the bottom of this in order for it to stand up. Because otherwise, if it had polyfil and that was it, it would topple over. So rice gives it weight, and that's why you do that. Now you can put something in there. If you're afraid of having critters get into your rice, you can put peppermint, like a little peppermint in it. And it also make it smell like Christmas. If you're afraid of having that, but honestly, I think it's no worries. All right, see how pretty he sits up? All right, don't worry about this top here. If you want this cut off, you can cut it off. I always leave it in there because it helps to keep the hat up. It always makes it stand up pretty and straight. Okay, let me get all my little junkies out of the way here. All right, we're gonna tie this off with some string as well, because we want to make sure that our rice doesn't go everywhere. It'll be a mess and a half. So I do 3 ties. You can do as many as you want or as little as you want. You might have a quicker mess if you don't do extras, but because it might pop open. Okay, so there. All right, now we get to the fun part of the beard. Put this out of the way. Let me get my beard forward. Now you have, if you get a 10 by 10 piece, I'm going to tell you that there's a way to do this, because you do not want to cut the beard in a way of where it's going to cut the actual beard part on the front. So there is a lining on the back here, and I'm going to go halfway. So I know exactly where to go. And just slide your scissors underneath there and just trim up. Don't cut your beard part because it'll make your beard look a little wonky. But there's a way to slide it underneath there. Y'all bear with me here. My scissors aren't the best in the world. And I'm trying not to cut my beard. Well, that was much easier going the other way. Just make sure you keep it underneath. All right. Now you have two separate pieces. Now, this here is, let's go ahead and divide this in half. I know it's probably making some of y'all think this is complicated, but it's really not. If you have good scissors, you're good. So now you know what I need for Christmas. I need scissors. Maybe Mom or Ben or Elsie will get me a pair of scissors for Christmas for crafting. All right, now you see how I preserved everything? All right, now we're going to have to make this beard a little more organic. And I also like to try to pull out some of the extra flyaways and just put them aside. Oh, and at this time I probably should be turning my hot glue gun on. All right, now I don't want it to be square like this. So I'm going to go and round off the corners here. So it will be a little more like a beard, like a little Santa beard. I'm thinking about doing some snowman for you guys also. I think that would be super cute. Similar. A couple things will be different, obviously. We won't have any beards. We're going to use baby socks. Try to remember to stay on that fabric. Put that aside. And of course, Ben just handed me a comb because he knows that step's coming up too at the end. So it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to make one of these. It's not very, I think it takes longer because of the cutting of the beard. All right, see how that's shaped now? That's a little more rounded. There, it's a little more rounded. Go. Now we're ready to hot glue this on. Let me see if I can get some of these little dust bunnies out of the way. These little fur bunnies, I guess you could call them. All right, where is my guy? All right, I try to dust it off to get any of the stray material off of it so I don't glue that in. All right, so I'm going to find my spot on him. You're going to go about this much up. And I glue several rows of glue here because I want him to stick real well. Take it and I put it on, press it and hold it down. All right, so this I'm going to go ahead and put on his head. Let me just make sure I got all the little material furries off of him. And I pulled down his hat low in the back just so I get good coverage on him. Try to get all the little material bunnies off of him. There, now isn't he cute? All right, so this can be tricky. I always start in the back, and I always start with my lip in the back here. So I put a bead across and flip it up. Woo, watch your fingers. Little hot. And then what I do is I put my bead across to reinforce. And I go onto my side. I just work my way around. So I glue this part first. The little lid I have here on this. Now don't glue the front yet because I'm going to save that for last. I might have to trim more down on his beard because it looks like it's, you can see the line of the beard, and I don't want that. All right. All right. All right, we have made a full circle. I'm gonna put a bead of hot glue there because these hats can slide off. All right, let's pick a nice nose. I'm gonna pull this up. Put a bead of hot glue right there. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the top of his nose here and on the sides, both sides. Just going to reinforce a little bit of hot glue over here. And over here. Now there'll be cleanup time where you have time to clean up, get all the little strands of glue and whatever off your noses and stuff. I'm just doing tidy up work here, guys. I'm a perfectionist, so I want to make sure that it's good. All right, we are almost done, but I'm going to do something with this beard down here. I'm going to show you that I'm going to trim it up just a little bit more because it looks a little too flat here. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to take that and fix that. All right, so now that we've gotten him almost done, time for little jingle bell. I just put some hot glue on the top. Just put it right on there and hold. Just trimming off little fabric. That's the jingle bell on there. Now, to make this look a little less square, I'm going to trim it up a little bit more. Make sure you're not cutting his beard part. You're just cutting this fabric. You could take off as much as you need to make it look as cute as you want. See how much of a difference that made? I'm going to take this little corner also. So I just kind of made it round, like a rounder shape. If you don't, make sure that you get to the backing part of this. It's going to cut the fur, and then you will have a haircut. All right. All right, now I got a cute little guy here, a little Santa sock gnome. Isn't he special? All right, guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and make some more of these, and we will see you guys in our next video. And I'm thinking about doing a snowman also with similar concept, but white socks. And
Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.